hey, I'm just catching this revelation that you have to disassociate with your wounding, with poverty, with offenses, like which I guess could be wounding, but sometimes wounding comes through just life, like just through, think about, I liken this journey to going on like a huge long trek, like a like a big hike. Have you ever gone like for real hiking where you're hiking in, like 20, 30, 40 miles and you spend the night on the way? So the point is, sometimes like the journey you trip up and like you might just get hurt, so like that wounding. But then there are times where somebody actually trips you up and that was offensive, and like, so that's a different kind of wounding. But the point is, through Christ consciousness, through the revelation of possibility, infinite intelligence, just the fact that healing is possible, just the fact that it's available. I was just getting this revelation that you have to disassociate with those things. Like, your association must be like, yeah, that happened before, and that used to be a part of my identity, but not anymore. It reminds me of that story, and I apologize. I really hope that you know that I'm speaking to everybody here, everybody that's under the sound of my voice, regardless of how you were raised. You are meant to be here. Like, you're not limited based on whatever you came from, but just realize that I was raised up through this certain narrative, and so therefore a lot of my revelations flow through these stories because they're my foundation pieces. But there was a part where, remember, I'm sure everybody's heard of that David and Goliath story where he like threw the rock at the giant, and just for context, he was like, he did a girl's job. He took care of the sheep, which apparently was like a girl's job at that time. So this is like, he was like the peon of the family. He had all of these like older brothers that were like mighty, but the irony is that while they were in the group think of the army, the brothers were in a group think of the army, he was out there actually doing the work, dealing with bears and lions, defending these sheep. So he actually had more preparation. This is a whole word right now. I hope it's getting to whoever it's for. I trust that it is. I manifest that it is. So he's out there actually doing the work, getting no recognition, but he actually had more experience in battle than his brothers did, who were sitting there like posturing up as if they were the army people. This is such a fire word. I'm like right on the edge of the fullness of this revelation. So I'm speaking to a collective right now who you might not have to appeared, like your life might not have appeared to be like, what am I trying to say? You're a lot more prepared than you think. It might not have looked like it on the outside. You might have no validation and no like credibility according to like the systems of man. And yet you are going to find out that you have been being prepared for your whole life. And therefore do not associate with the lies that are saying that you are not prepared, because you are prepared and it just didn't look like it. David didn't have what was considered to be the like the traditional training, but what he did have was real life preparation. And then when it came time for him to slay that giant, who everybody was afraid to take on, by the way, all of these tough army guys that should have been the ones that were ready, they were like just standing there like squaring off, like not taking on the giant. And the giant was like, anybody that's willing to take me on, try it. Like, and the trade-off was whoever wins will become the slaves of the other. That was like that was supposed to be the like trade-off. So by the way, like, where was the thank you to David by all of his family and all of the kingdom when he did that, and then they didn't all have to become the slaves of the giants? Wait for it. So when he was ready to take on that giant, he said, he literally just showed up from tending his father's sheep that day to bring lunch to his brothers. He wasn't going there to fight. He wasn't going there to even be a part of anything. He was just supposed to be bringing like food and supplies to his brother for his family. And then he said, he steps to the giant and he goes, yeah, I used to tend my father's sheep, but now, like, but today I'm about to take you out, pretty much. So he just decided in that moment that he disassociated with his prior identity, with his prior position of tending sheep. He's like, yeah, that's what I used to do. But my day has come today where now I'm going to do this. So the message is, like, it's not to deny everything that came before you, and it's not to deny that it happened. But there comes a point when within our identity, we have to disassociate. Like, I no longer associate as that traumatized girl. I'm like, Holy Spirit, don't be pulling it out of me like that. I don't want to cry right now, okay? Like, but I no longer associate, with that. Like, that happened. It was real. It me up for a while, but now I used to be that. You know what I'm saying? And it's literally like, it's a part, and there's processing to this. This is process. Like it says, it's not only a matter of just saying it out loud, because our subconscious mind houses the gunk, like our subconscious, and it's literally in our physical cells. It's in our DNA. Wow, it really is in our DNA, because lineage passes memories through DNA. So you're also carrying the experiences of generations. Like you're carrying even thought forms of generations, and that is why doing the inner work is so critical for all of us who especially know that we came here to do something. So, shameless plug to Seed, Soil, Water, Spa. Go and soak in some of those revelatory audio experiences. Go get some therapy. Find a good energy clearing healer person who knows what they're doing. Don't just depend on religion and just words, like there's some energetic clearing that must happen in order to actively disassociate. Sometimes eviction must happen, and sometimes it can happen in really spiritually evolved churches. So I'm not saying it doesn't, like that's called deliverance, but sometimes it's so woo-woo and like dramatic that it's like, like it might even hold people back from participating, because it's like there are those people that go and just do that for attention. So then you're like, I don't want to be like them. But here, this is how beautiful the Spirit is. The Spirit is so much bigger than religion, and so much bigger and greater than any one thought group, that it has, there are people who are illuminated by the Spirit of life in a lot of different fields of life, okay? And you want to argue with me about that? Let's talk about Yeshua. Who did he go meet? The woman at the well. Who did he go meet? Zacchaeus. Who did he go meet? He met all these people because he knew that they had the Spirit within them, and that their hearts were right. Okay? And just because they didn't fit into the club of religion or of whatever the club was at the time, like that was supposedly acceptable, that didn't stop him, because he knows who's who. And that's why it says God knows the heart, okay? So we all must stop judging people based on what we think club that they're in. And we also must stop assuming that just because somebody's in the right club of religion that their heart is right, because that's not the case. Much of the time, they're so busy trying to be in the club that they don't even know the Spirit. Woo! Don't let it be me. Okay, I gotta go work out. Be blessed, be well, be free.